I have made over 1,350 Spore creations, and today I am challenging myself to be making you guys' original characters. Can I do it, or am I going to absolutely butcher all of your OCs? Well, let's find out. So our first creation comes to us by way of Octavius. This was the first OC that immediately stood out to me because I absolutely love the design. This looks so rad. You already know I love making buff, muscular creatures in Spore, and I'm trying to get better at that, so that's why I chose it. As you can see here, I'm using the Kanban color pack recoloring bumps. They look orange right now, but they will take on whatever color I make the creature, so don't be appalled. And I'm basically just using them to give shape to the creature. And that's pretty much what I'm going to use to give details to all of the models throughout the video. Sculpting out the chest, the abs, for the actual lats, the lateral part of the back, I actually use the Pandora's Toolbox sphere. And then I go back to the Kanban color pack recoloring bit to give more detail to the torso, you know, the abs, the neck. And that's also what I'm going to use for the back of the creature. And a little bit of lore to this creature is actually he's a Norse warrior who ended up being turned into this creature, and his skin is made of metal, which is really cool. I'm not the greatest at doing the back anatomy, so I kind of just eyeballed it and placed bits where they looked right. Coming in again with the Pandora's Toolbox recoloring sphere to make the ass, and then moving on to the legs. Picking the foot was a little bit difficult because I don't like using the normal Spore foot. It's a little gross. Feet kind of creep me out, so I just chose that one right there. It is a dark injection foot. And then here's the catch. Instead of adding each individual spike, I actually used this dark injection version of a vanilla part that is supposed to be like a little hair tuft. And you have the square slider on that piece, meaning you can like shove it into the creature, and it just goes inside the mesh, and only the little spikes poke out, and it just adds so many spikes while being only one part, which is really good. And I went a little bit crazy with that on the legs and the arms, and I just started slapping spikes kind of everywhere on this thing. And then for the neck spikes, I did a similar technique, but with just a different piece, because on the neck, they're like a singular row, which looks really good. But what I did have to add individually was all of the teeth, which was really satisfying to do because I made them in like an interlocking way. Looked super awesome. And then came time for the colors. In this specific piece of artwork, he's actually shown pink, but there's like this ferrofluid thing, or at least that's how I interpret it, kind of going and taking every single bit of his flesh and making it into metal, which I really like. But as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing's supposed to be black, so that's kind of what I just did, which was very easy to do, obviously. Though I did use the advanced creature painter mod to go in and click on every single part and make them black individually. And this is how he ended up looking like. I really love how this design came out. Very proud of it. My proportions probably could have been a little bit better, but I still think it's very, very recognizable. And that's our boy Taurus. Gorgeous!
Baby, you're so classy.
The next OC is called Mudjaw, and he's a 6 meter long... don't know how to say that word. And it was created for a Roblox Battlegrounds game, apparently. I also don't know what that is. And basically, his main power is adaptability. And he can adapt to anything and everything that hurts him, according to the creator. He's able to control water, and that makes him faster on land, and on ground, he can use... and he can use... I can't fucking read this text. Also, there's humans trying to hunt him, considering he's a monster, and because his scales possess a healing property. But even so, he's just a chill guy who's trying to live his life in peace. Making him in Spore is pretty straightforward. I started by just making every single characteristic of this little fish guy in a floating little pickle body, right? You can see me adding all the spikes and whatnot. I love making fish-like creatures in Spore. They're always really fun, and layering the spikes with the little membranes was very fun also. And then to make it actually walk like a fish, I use the Gumby method, where you just make the legs invisible and it'll float in this side-to-side motion that mimics how a fish swims, which is pretty cool. I struggled a little bit with the colors, but I think we got there somewhat at the end. It's not perfect, obviously, not one-to-one whatsoever. As I mentioned, it's Spore, it's got its limits, but I would say it's recognizable. And then also for the scars and the little spearhead with the string hanging on him, I thought was a really cool detail. I didn't add every single one of the scars. I kept it kind of minimalistic a little bit. But the ones I did add, I tried to keep it semi-accurate to all the drawings. And this is what it looks like in the end. I'm very happy with how it came out. It was a lot of fun to make, and I really enjoyed this design. So shout out to Average... What the fuck? Well, however you say that. It was good, não tem como. Fish! So the next design comes to us by way of Ponti, and she has sent the Pontisaurus, what is clearly the most detailed design of the entire video. This was a real challenge to translate into SPORE. And because it's got so many characteristics, I wasn't able to include absolutely everything because, to be quite frank, SPORE wasn't meant to be able to handle something this complicated. But I still tried my best. Now, this is a great time to mention that all of these OCs were sent to me through my Discord server, the Chipcord, which you can join. The link is in the description, and there you can send your own OCs, because we are going to be doing this video again if it reaches 1,000 likes. So if you're enjoying it so far, consider leaving a like and joining my Discord server, where you can also find my mods folder and my mods list. Because yes, I do use mods. No, that doesn't mean that my creations are poopy. That's not some sort of god cheat that's just gonna make me able to do whatever in SPORE. I use mods. It's fine. Don't write a 2,000 paragraph in my comment section. Yeah. And I would also like to mention that this far into the development of the SPORE Pontisaurus, I decided to make a creative decision that some might not really agree with, but I personally think it's great. I think it looks, I mean, okay, so this is what it looks like, right? This is the finished thing. It's beautiful. I mean, I think it's me. I mean, if you ask me personally, I think this is absolutely, yeah. He's stunning. He's so stunning. Look at him. I could watch this for days. So for the next and final creation of the video, I actually used a dinosaur I had already made as a base for it, which is why you're not going to see me start it from scratch, but instead, we're going to use this Coelophysis, because naturally, being a dinosaur guy and keeping with that title, I had a lot of dinosaur submissions. I chose to go for the most original and most challenging OCs, but there were definitely a lot of really cool dinosaurs that I'd love to make in maybe a part 2. As for this video though, I picked Nova's Proeratosaurus, because honestly, the colors are really cool on this thing. I absolutely love it. And while there wasn't any lore included, it does say that he is a puppet for a potential short horror film, which would go so hard. Look at this thing. He's terrifying. He's genuinely so cool looking. Basically, all I had to do was take that Coelophysis from earlier and just sort of turn him into this Proeratosaurus shape. We were kind of halfway there already with the whole body, so I just shortened the face a little bit, covered him in fur, gave it the crests, which was really fun to try and replicate that pattern. And then all I had to do was fix all of the green absolute madness that we had from the previous dinosaur and give it all of the color that he's supposed to have. Is there a dog barking in the background? I hope the mic is not picking that up. Anyway, at the end of all that, this is what the Proeratosaurus ended up looking like. Making dinosaurs at this point is not challenging at all for me, so this was incredibly enjoyable. Also, hi Nova. But that's gonna be today, huh? But that's gonna be it for that. You gotta be kidding me. But that's gonna be today. What the fuck? But that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I don't usually post too much here on YouTube, so I want to start taking it a little bit more seriously this year of 2026. So if you have any ideas of content I should make, please let me know. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the creatures that we made today. And if you want to know my personal favorite, you're just gonna have to find out whoever wins this fight. But I want to know your favorite. So please let me know in the comments down below. And I hope you've enjoyed. Bye-bye.